Hello all, welcome to this week's video. I am Dominique from Dominique's Homeless Resource Initiative. Today's topic will be a little bit about monthly budgets slash money management. I'm going to show you how to create two different spreadsheets from scratch using Google Slides. As you can see here, there is a pre-populated monthly budget. I find the pre-populated monthly budgets to be slightly difficult, as I am an individual who needs to see every source of income and every single expense. I've tried playing around with those and they just didn't necessarily work for me, so I struggled with keeping up with them on a regular basis. So today I'm going to show you how to do a monthly budget from a blank spreadsheet. How I was able to get to here was I logged into my email, I clicked on the Google Apps tab, and I just scrolled down to be able to get to slides. Okay, so that's how I got here. Then we're going to start with a basic spreadsheet, and this is what it should look like. A lot of these tips and tricks will be transferable to various other spreadsheets such as Numbers and Excel. However, when you get into the nitty-gritty of the formats for the table and creating charts, you do get a little bit of various steps because things are under different titles and whatnot. That all makes sense as they're created by different superior programs and stuff like that. So some things to take note when we're going through this worksheet is that the columns are letters, A through Z, and if we get past Z, they just restart like AA, BB, etc. And then the rows are numbered. That is a very important part for when we are gonna have to insert some formulas to be able to do the addition and subtraction for us. The biggest pro about using one of the pre-populated spreadsheets in the monthly budget trackers that Google Slides has is that the formulas are already in there for you. You don't have to worry about typing them in. The good thing about creating a formula from scratch is not creating the formula from scratch, but once you create this spreadsheet from scratch and you already inserted the formula, you don't have to re-enter the formula every single time you access this spreadsheet. As you can see here on this tables, on the right side, the tables did pop in. We're gonna hit blank table. We're gonna just hit it. It will automatically insert. And for now, we're just gonna close it. We don't not need it for the moment. I'm gonna title this monthly budgets. And then table 1, I'm going to label as September 2025. Column 1, I'm going to list that as income source. Column 2, I'm going to put expected income. And then, let me fix that spelling. And then here I'm going to put actual income amount. And then here I'm going to put difference, diffference. So for now, we do not need columns 5 or 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete these from our table. And next, we're going to just type in our various sources of income. So we're going to put employment 1, employment 2, then we're going to do DTA cash benefits, food stamps, and then I'm going to put another line for total. Now, an individual may not have this many sources of income, or they may have different types of income, which is completely okay and acceptable. So when it comes to expected versus actual, so for me, one thing that helps me, especially when it comes when it's in regards to employment um, checks, there are so many various things to take into consideration, like did you work more hours, less hours, taxes being taken out, if you pay health insurance, do your job, if you're paying into a retirement fund, all of those things. So that's why there's such a major difference. I know for me, when I'm doing my personal budget, I tend to just not include the expected income amount and I just do the actual income amount. For me, I have to pay taxes out of that money. I pay for my health insurance right out of my paycheck. So I know that my paycheck, unless I run out of sick time, it's not going to be too much different. I pretty much get paid the same amount every pay cycle. Um, and that's after I was like new to the company, and now that I've been there for a few months, my paychecks are pretty much now the same, which is really great. So before we start inputting some money into these numbers, I'm gonna go ahead and type in the formulas. So for total right here, for we would like the sum of this. So of B2, B3, B4, and B5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit equals and then the word sum, open parentheses, and then it's going to be B2 dot to B5 close parentheses. It will default to 0 because we have not inputted any numbers. Actual income, it's going to be the same. We're going to do equals, we're going to do sum, we're going to do open parentheses, we're going to do C2 dot to C5 close parentheses. This should default to 0. And for this one, this third formula that we're going to put in, it's going to be for the difference because we want to know what the difference is of the expected income and the actual income that we received. So we're going to hit equals, we're going to hit minus, type in minus, and then we're going to do open parentheses. We're going to want the difference between B6, comma, and C6, and close parentheses. Okay, again, that should be 0 because we haven't inputted any other numbers. Now we're going to do the formula for these highlighted boxes here. And the formula is going to be very similar to the last one we did. So for this, we want to know the difference between, we're going to hit equals, type in the word minus. If we already had numbers put in, it would fill in the numbers for us, but in this case, we didn't. So we're going to do minus, we want to know the difference between B2, comma, and C2, close parentheses. I don't want to autofill because we're not going to use all of those right now. And then again, equals, minus, open parentheses, B3, comma, and C3, close parentheses, equals, minus, open parentheses, we're going to do B4, comma, and C4, close parentheses. No, we don't want to do that. So then we're going to do equals, minus, this is the last time we're going to have to type in a formula for this graph. So then it's going to be B5, comma, and C5. So that's just the basic setup for your graph. The benefit of this is you can always add more more rows and columns if you need to. Right now we just need these first 5, which is great. So we can say for this graph, we're going to just act like we what we expect before taxes and before health insurance and before putting in like saving for your 401k, if any of those apply for you to you. So for expected income, we can say our expected income is $4,000 from job number one. And you see how in employment two, say this is part-time, say we're expecting $2,000. Cash benefits, let's say our cash benefits we're expected to receive $600. And then food stamps, let's say we're expecting 145. And again, I'm just creating numbers off the top of my head. I'm not using anyone's real actual sources of income for this. Obviously, everyone is different. And if you like to be specific, you can say that you can do full-time here. And then you can type in part-time here if that will help you save, placement marker. Obviously, if you had a job name, you can probably put that there, etc. So let's say from employment one, after taxes and other things, your actual income for the month was $2,987.43. So then now it automatically calculates that the difference between the actual income and the expected income and the actual income is $1,013. So let's say employment two, your actual income for that job was, let's say, $1,465.12. So now it says here your difference is $535. Cash benefits. If you're getting cash benefits, those generally stay the same month to month until you do a recertification. So just for this, we're going to say it stayed at $600. We did get the actual income for that. And then the food stamps, we did receive the $145. So this is just your basic budgeting format for September 2025. As you can see, the total that we expected was $6,745. The actual was $5,197.55, and the difference was roughly $1,547. So that's just how you can create a basic budget here within Google Slides. And I'm going to show you a little fun thing where you can create a graph so you can see it more visually. Some people are visual learners. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight all of this. And I'm going to go up here and hit insert insert chart. And it's going to pre-populate a chart for you, which is really cool. So we could, and it obviously just took all the information in your employment, full-time and part-time, your cash benefits, food stamps, and your total amounts. And it gave you a legend here. You can also change how you want the graph to look. Combo graph, bar, and graph. For just the sake of this, we're going to just do a basic column. Keep it like that. Then you can also hit customize, and then you can hit chart, do chart title, and the chart title can be September 2025 budget. And it will populate right up there for you. And that is it. If you would like this chart to be on, you can either keep this chart right on the same page. If you would like, you can hit move to its own sheet, and it will do that. So this will be your budget. And at the bottom, you can see this budget is listed as sheet number 2. So you can just put this one as 2025 budget. And then this one could be labeled as 2025 budget graph. And these will always be linked. And then obviously if these things change, say you ended up getting another job, so we can hit, I'm going to hit number 5, I'm going to hit insert row below. Say someone gave you, you got a bonus. You got a bonus at work, right? So you can say it was unexpected, so it was 0, but the actual income that you received was $789. So yeah, it says that. So then now it shows you the difference that it says negative 789, but it really be positive. And then the bonus will go here. Okay. It shows a negative because it came in as negative down here, but say we put this one as 900 and the difference was 111. Now you can just go flip and there's the difference. When you click on each bar, you'll see. So it says the expected income, actual, and then the difference. Some people prefer this, some people prefer this, and you can go change them either way you like. Next, I'm going to do add a worksheet or a spreadsheet, and I'm going to label this one as expenses. And then I'm going to go here, I'm going to hit insert table, pre-built table, and it'll pop up back over here, budget, and then, okay, bam. This one now I'm going to put as September expenses. I'm going to hit expense name. I'm going to type in expense name. I'm going to hit amount. M-O-N, amount. And then total. I'm going to do 2 different, I don't need a total here. I'm actually going to do a total at the bottom. If you would like, you could do, actually let's do that. Amount expected. Uh-oh. Okay, I got it. Amount expected. And then actual amount. Oh, MOU. And then difference. And then again, we don't need columns 5 and 6, so I'm just going to delete them from the table. So some expenses, we're going to do rent. Let's say you have a savings account. We can do retirement if you're putting away for that. We can do laundry. I'm going to hit laundry mat. I'm going to hit clean. I'm going to type in cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies, light bill. I'm going to type in life insurance, pets, food, transportation, gas for home, childcare. Let's see, subscriptions such as Hulu. And then for here, we're going to hit total. So these, you may have more expenses in a regular month than what's listed here. You may have less. These are just a simple template of what I wanted to show. So say the expected amount for, oh, let me scroll back up so I can see the rent. Say your expected amount for rent was 12 1000 let's see, $1,398, or let's do 95, but the actual ended up being $1,380. Maybe you had a credit or something from the previous month. Maybe they put money towards from your security deposit towards that rent. Say you're adding savings a month, which is $100 a month, but then your goal is 100, but then you end up only being able to save 75. Retirement, you're putting in $80 a month. Maybe that's coming right out of your check. Laundromat, maybe you are paying, $100 in laundromat fees, but then your estimate, and then maybe you're doing really 60. Cleaning supplies, 100, but you really end up spending 110. Light bill, you're projecting that to be 200, but it ended up being 375. Life insurance, let's say you estimated at 60, but it ended up being 55.67. Your pets, maybe that there has to be their food, their litter boxes, whatever related to your pets. Say your estimation is 100, but it ended up being 98.22. Food, 700. You're estimating, but you only ended up paying 682.90. Transportation, you are estimating that it's gonna cost you about let's see, 85, but you really spent 125. Gas to warm up your home, say that it's going to be $900, or let's not do that. Gas for your home, maybe it's really $75 a month, and that actually stays 75. Childcare, say your childcare is $1,289 a month. It actually stays that amount. So we're going to do 1,289. Your subscriptions. I spelled subscriptions wrong. So say you're paying about $96 in subscriptions. You're estimating that, and then it really ends up being 94.27. Cool. So all of these numbers are just kind of, you heard me talk through them, just shouting out numbers and inputting them into the data sheet. And now, since we want the total of these two rows, we're going to go ahead and add that formula. And it's going to be equals sum. And that's going to be, you want B2 to B14. And then for this one, you're going to do equals sum. So what you're seeing here that you weren't able to see in the first spreadsheet that I did is I put in the numbers, and now you can just click on the actual sum that you want. So you want C2 to C14. And then now we're going to have to go and insert the formula so we can get the populated numbers without having to do the math on a calculator and then inputting it. So we're going to just hit equals minus, minus, open parentheses, and then it's going to pop up. So definitely easier to put in the numbers for sum because it pops up the formula for you already. And I'm really grateful to be able to show you the two different ways. And as we go down, it will continue to go for us. Minus, and then equals minus, B5 and C5, equals minus. It goes a little bit faster since you don't have to worry too much about it. MIN, and then equals MI. Let's see, equals MI, boing, equals MIN right here. Boing. My little sound effects. I so apologize, but I hope you guys are finding some of this information a little bit useful as I'm entering some of these information for you. Well, for us, so that everyone can see. Uh, it's definitely harder to do when you want to go slow enough so that people can watch, but also making sure you're putting in the right data. Equals M minus this, and then equals MINU C14, and then minus. So this minus, right, this sheet right here, this minus one that we're going to do is not going to be going, well, it is going to be going across, but we just want B15 and B16. Minus, open, what did I say? Oh, B15, and then comma, C15. Close parentheses, enter. So, as you can see that it says our expected expenses total $4,380, but our actual expenditures was $4,500, which leaves us at a negative $120 for the month. So then this would go off of what can we move around in terms of our expenses so that we can be able to just break even. Maybe we combine subscriptions. Maybe we get a little bit maybe we don't have premium, or maybe we don't have Hulu and Disney Plus combined. Maybe we have the cheaper one. If we have Amazon Prime, do we need it? It's convenient to get things in 24 hours. How can we supplement our employment? Do we have to get name brand cleaning supplies? Can we get the cheaper stuff, the store brand stuff? Think of ways that we can sit there and save money. With life insurance, maybe we can shop around to find different life insurance rates. When it comes to childcare, sometimes with childcare, especially if they're under 5 and they're not in school yet, it's really hard to, finagle your fee. If you're getting a voucher, the voucher, the price is what it is. Sometimes you get 100% free voucher, but I do know that every year individuals with vouchers do get recertified, and the recertification is based off of your income, what your parent fee is. And transportation, it says that we paid a little bit more on transportation this month. How can we fix that? The light bill, in the summer months, the AC is going a little bit more, things like that. So these are just a simple template of how to create a spreadsheet for both your budget and your expenses. So we can even look back. So we can say our expected income was $7,645. Our actual was $5,986. So even based off of our actual income here and our expenses here, we technically have enough to live off of and have a little bit extra if we're comparing the two. So we definitely have enough, to cover what we're doing and go from there, which is really great. Now, if we want to have another chart for this, we can. I'm just going to highlight all of this. I'm sure there's an easier way to be able to create a chart. I just tend to have gotten into use to copying that. And here is our beautiful chart. So I'm going to actually change the title of this. I'm going to hit title. I'm going to just write expenses. I'm going to write September expenses. And then that's really it. I'm going to close out this part, and I'm going to hit these 3 little dots right here. I'm going to hit move to its own sheet, and then I'm going to label this as September expenses chart. And as you can see, you can definitely when you're in the settings, you can, like when it says edit chart, you can definitely go here. If you want the legend to be on the side or on the bottom, you can. If you want the, the labels switched, you can. Me, I tend to leave all those things the way it is. Close, and then we can just hit save. Oh, I think it actually automatically saves on my computer. And that's really it. I hope you found these to be very helpful. If you have any questions or if you want assistance in creating one of these for you and your household, I'm more than happy to help you via Zoom or in person. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Stay posted and follow us for more. Thank you and have a good day.